Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Ishan Sharma and you are listening to BITS Cast. On this episode, I have founder and CEO of Verved, Abhishek Sansanwal. And in this episode, we talked about how he started his own company while still, studying in college. What were the challenges associated with starting his own company? And he's also a TEDx speaker and he's a Google Venkat scholar. And he has his own YouTube channel where he talks about career and coding and open source development. And we talked about what are the good practices in open source software development. This is a great episode. Make sure that you watch till the very end. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash that like button, guys. And with that, let's jump into the episode. Hello, Abhishek. Thank you so much for joining me here for this podcast episode. How are you doing there?
Hi, I'm doing really good. Thank you. How about you?
I'm doing amazing this morning, really energetic. I want to talk to you about how you started this company, Verved, and what that journey has been like. So
Mhm.
tell me a little about that.
Yeah, sure. So I started Verbed in October 2018. Now I'll talk a bit about why I started, right? So
Yeah,
see, in my, I guess, first two semesters, I'd worked with tens of brands. And when I compared myself to my classmates, to my batchmates, they had done like zero internships and they couldn't find any opportunity. So I really thought about it. Why does this happen? And so, after a lot of thinking and talking to a lot of people, it was pretty clear that for freshers, it's really difficult and, in fact, a matter of luck to find any opportunities because the employers will always choose someone that has more experience,
yeah.
right? So that's why I started Verb. That I had so many projects, and it would be cool to, give those projects out to students where they can do an internship and move further in their career. So that was the starting point. That's why I started Verb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Verved, now when we began, we started as a software development firm, so app
Yeah.
development, website development, and then we moved on to marketing, designing, and business development as well. But then with that, since we grew too fast, too quick, we didn't have enough manpower, so we had to drop a lot of projects, and also we kind of deviated from the basic idea of
Yeah.
helping people. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when we thought, okay, let's make something specifically for that. So that's when we thought, all right, let's work on something called Verved Ed program.
Okay.
Now that's something that we're currently working on. It's India's first of its kind mentorship program.
Okay. And how do you get guests? Like, how do you get clients to get the projects for?
Yeah, so initially it was just my network was like really strong. So when I started Verved on my like personal message and a lot of calls from people that already knew me, they were like, "Hey, dude, congrats on starting the company. We have this project. Would you like to work on it?" So it just
Yeah.
started from there, and then it kind of became a cycle. Like we worked on one project, then they said, "Hey, can you work on this project?" So it just became a cycle, and I
Mm-hmm.
think we just had a strong network in the industry. So that's what
Yeah.
it's about.
And
Yeah.
how did LinkedIn help you out in this, your venture?
Oh, LinkedIn has helped me a lot. Now, if you know me, you know that I last year I won the award of top 50 tech leaders at Intercon
Yeah.
Dubai.
How did
So
that happen? What is the story behind that?
yeah, so that actually happened from LinkedIn. So how it started was Intercon, like it's a big conference in Dubai. So
Yeah.
they did a really exhaustive research through LinkedIn to find out individuals that are doing some stuff in life.
Yeah.
And so they found me, and then they were like, "Hey, we would like you to participate in the nomination." And so basically, they selected like 500 people, and then out of those, we shared our story, our vision, and where do we see our company going in upcoming years. And
Yeah.
then they had a whole team that kind of made the decision and selected top 50 people out of that.
Mhm.
So yeah, LinkedIn really, and that was a big thing. So I feel like I owe LinkedIn a lot.
So, like, what is your strategy on LinkedIn? Like, do you try to get posts as much as possible, or like, what is the strategy behind your content on LinkedIn?
See, I actually if you talk about my ideal strategy that I would like to have, it's definitely to post more frequently. because it's all
Yeah.
about consistency. So if I'm posting consistently, then it's easy to get views. Just if the content is good and using those small hacks like putting the link in the comment and stuff like that.
Does that
uh,
really work?
I
I have
think
seen a
it
lot of
does.
people do that.
Yeah, it actually does. So I've tried with posts whenever I put the link in the post itself, then I get like a few like single digit thousand views. But if
Yeah.
I put it in the comment, it's super easy to cross 10K, 20K views in 5, 6 hours. And also
Awesome.
time matters a lot, the time of the post. It's
Yeah.
just some of the things that I've seen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. And do you have any tips for people that are trying to, talk to people on LinkedIn? Like DMing people, cold messaging.
Hmm. Yeah, I do. Don't be a jerk. And
What
and
exactly do you mean?
I've received so many messages, and I've seen people that are like they use LinkedIn like it's Facebook, and you have to maintain a professional, standard and level. But people are just like, I don't know, it's just their style of talking, the way they write the message. It just doesn't make me. It doesn't motivate me enough to give a reply, right?
Yeah.
So just please make sure that you're not being a jerk. Don't be stupid. Just be straight to the point, but also don't be like I've seen people that ask, hey, can you please provide me internship in your company? Nothing else. Some people that say, can you please give me a recommendation? Nothing else. No, hi, how
Okay.
are you?
No
Nothing. I'm this.
contest and like straight to the
Nothing.
point.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
They just.
That's really important to understand. Like I try to build as much as human connection as possible. Like
Yeah.
after every single conversation that I have with someone on LinkedIn, I try to get their number so that I can
Uh-huh.
actually talk to them. And that builds a stronger connection. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Hmm. Yeah, right. It's
Hmm.
just like in a conference when you exchange cards, some
Yeah.
people go and they're like, here's my card, and they take the card and then okay, bye. They don't build that connection, that they don't talk, they don't share those thoughts and emotions. I feel like that's really important to build.
Hmm. Awesome. And what is the motivation behind you starting your YouTube channel?
Oh, okay. So behind starting the channel, I think I just thought that I've done a bunch of stuff by the age of 20, and I think I've been lucky. But yeah, I have put in a lot of hard work. So I felt like there's so much knowledge that I could share with more and more people, and I think YouTube is a great platform to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I started it, and now I'm working on a few videos and on a few projects. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
going nice.
All right, and if you talk about your college and you balancing every single thing, what would be your tips for people that want to balance it all? What would that be?
Uh-huh. Okay, my tip would be first really prioritize how much and what matters to you, because like in my case, to me college doesn't really matter at all, right? To me
Okay,
my company matters, the projects that I'm doing, the people that I'm working
okay.
with, that's what matters. So I've
Hmm.
always put that first. I put that above college, and that's something that you need to do, because if you see my attendance in college was like I guess 2 or 3% in the last semester.
2 or 3%.
Yeah, and they do have the 75% criteria. But if you're doing stuff in life, and if those guys, the college guys, they're cool with it, if they know what you're doing, and if you're doing
Yeah,
well, you're good. So I'll just say that build a good connection with your college guys, the official people, and tell them
yeah.
that you're doing shit in your life, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what
The
I would say.
interesting
But
thing about Builds Goa is like we don't even have that policy, but
uh-huh.
still we get people sitting in the lectures and all. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's actually counterintuitive, right? If you don't impose restrictions, people will actually go and sit for the lectures. It's just strange.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, true.
Tell me a little about your talk and how did you get that opportunity?
Okay, so about TEDx, I think the organizer of that event contacted me, and then I was like, okay, wow, this is cool. So let's do it. And
Yeah,
then I thought, what can I share? So this is one idea that I always had in mind, that you just need to have one thought, and that turns into a big idea. So everything that you see, it started with one single thought in mind. That was my TEDx talk. It revolved around that idea, but also I shared my journey, and then it's by the title of "Don't Build a Resume, Build a Life" on
yeah.
TEDx YouTube channel. So that's
Hmm.
something that I totally believe in. Don't build a resume, build a life. And yeah, it was it,
Yeah.
it was just fine. Not the best talk I've given because I was too overconfident that okay, it's going to be like all other talks. But when I got on the stage, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to give a TEDx talk. So yeah, I took it
Yeah.
easy, but it was fine. I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And how did you get your Venkat scholarship from Google? What is that story like?
Mhm. Yeah, so Venkat Scholarship. So let me tell you about last year. I applied in 2018 as well. So I'm
Yeah.
Venkat Scholar of 1920 cohort. So I applied in the 18-19 edition and I didn't get in. And then I got in the last edition. So the
First of
story
all,
has
what is
been
this scholarship about? Tell me, for those who don't know about this scholarship,
uh
tell me about that.
Yeah, so Venkat Panchmukesan Memorial Scholarship is a scholarship by Google where they select 6 students from India every year who have made significant contributions in the tech space, who have helped a lot of people, a lot of students, and that's what it's about. You need to show really good leadership skills, and you have to be good in the tech space. So you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
about that, and yeah, so the application process is pretty simple. You just apply for it. You have to submit 2 letter of recommendations and 2 essays and a video on why you should win the scholarship. It's pretty easy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think what it takes to really win the scholarship, what I've observed by applying before this edition and getting rejected, and then applying and getting selected, I think it's about the impact. So in 2019, I did so much work compared to previous years. So I feel like that impact is something that really led me to win the scholarship. Impact of working with a lot of people, starting some communities, starting some societies in college, and helping out a lot of people. Winning the award and giving the TEDx talk.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things, and also I feel like this is important. See, every year I think 2 to 3 students, 2 to 3 Google Venkat scholars have also done Google Summer of Code. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it's some connection, but I do feel like if you participated in things like Google Summer of Code or Women Tech Makers, stuff like that, I think that also in some way helps you a little
Yeah.
bit.
There is
Yeah.
some correlation to that. I think people who get into
Yeah.
GSOC, they also get into Google Coding and all.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like a cycle. You get into one Google thing, and then it's easy to get into other Google things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. And tell me, what are some of the challenges that people face when starting a company from your own experience?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that people face, or if you're not facing it, then you're doing it wrong. The biggest challenge is building a good team. It's
Yeah,
all about the team, and obviously you have to have a good idea. It's always about a lot of people, they start with just random idea. They don't really have much experience, much knowledge. So really make sure that whatever you're working on, it's solving a real problem that people are facing, right?
yeah,
So that is one point, and then obviously build a really good team. It's the most difficult thing to do, but you have to do it. It's a consistent process. Don't think like you'll think, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start a company and day after tomorrow I'll be ready with my team. It doesn't happen
mm-hmm.
like that. So build your network, connect with more and more people, and just try to bring in some of the people that you think could really help in your idea and share the same vision.
Yeah. This is actually really hard because I tried starting some sort of like a business with my own first year students. But what ended up happening is that I got the domain name, I got the website idea, I started building on that. But then after 2 to 3 weeks, people started diverging from the
Hmm.
vision. And so I think that's
Yeah.
really hard to find people that have the same vision that you have. And that is something that I've struggled with a lot.
True, true. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
that's really tough, man. Finding people that share the same vision, because everyone has their own like life, own experiences, own dreams. So even though they might get infatuated by your idea for once and stick around for a week or two or for a month, but then if they have some other plans, they are gonna go away. So
Hmm.
yeah, just have to work on it. And also like if I can tell about Verved, at one point we had 21 full-time working people from different
Oh,
countries, and we were just doing amazing. But then
wow.
obviously like people graduate, people find better opportunities,
Yeah.
so they have to leave. So this is something
Hmm.
that you also have to be okay with. Don't think that entrepreneurship is going to be this single line, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like it was
Like, it's
most of the time
always
it's
like
like,
this.
yeah. So be okay with changes and be okay with whatever comes. It's tough, but it's worth it.
That's a good point. And I saw that you actually do a lot of open source contribution. What will be your tips for people that want to contribute to the open source and using GitHub and finding
Mhm.
these projects to contribute to? What are some of the tips that you can give?
I think some of the tips, the most important tip that I give is first, see, it's very easy to find open source organizations. Just Google open source organizations and whatever technology you're interested in, whatever field you're interested in. So when you find those organizations, first make sure that the organization is active. That
Okay.
is really important because a lot of times people just start contributing to organizations, but then a few months pass and their PRs haven't been merged, right?
Yeah.
So it
Hmm.
doesn't make sense. So make sure that it's active, and then make sure once you start contributing, you introduce yourself in the community, right? It's not a
Yeah.
competition. Help others. Feel free to ask for help, and
Hmm.
also be confident, but don't be overconfident. So don't
Okay.
don't mess up the code, their code or anything. It's good that you're confident, but also be sure of what you're doing. And then
Okay.
the last point that I'd like to give is make sure that the thing that you want to work on, there's no one else that's working on that right now. Because a lot of time, that's
Okay.
your person B is working on something. A person A comes out of nowhere, they start
Yeah.
working on it and shoot a pull request. Then person B is like, what the heck? Right. So just make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Ask people in the community before you start working on something. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty easy and it's pretty fun world open source. But these are some
All
of the points.
right. Mm-hmm. And what are your future plans going forward after you graduate? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay, that's pretty interesting question because I'm not 100% clear with what I really want to do. But yes, some things that are clear to me is I will never work for more than 2 to 3 years in the industry.
Okay.
And right now, like next year, since I'll graduate in 2021, I'll apply to some schools in US and some good schools in other countries. But let's see, like I'm not really sure, though I'll apply for graduate courses. Um, and maybe I'll continue work. And I'm also doing a few things in e-commerce. So maybe
Okay.
that's something that I could really dive into. And yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what's all. But I just don't want to stick to, one company, one place. You can call me a digital nomad. I just want to travel the world, meet new
Yeah.
people, and enjoy life. I think that's what it's about.
That's great, bro. And what would be your tips for people that want to have a startup, but then also manage college life? Like a lot of times it happens that we're not able to manage it all properly.
Yeah, yeah. I think in that case, again, first you need a good team and also don't do all of the things on your own. This is the mistake that I did when I started work. I
Yeah.
was a solopreneur, so I thought no one else can do it better than me. Even though that's something that I also think a lot of times, even now. But just try to delegate some of the tasks that you don't essentially have to do yourself, that you can
Hmm.
focus on one thing. So you see a lot of people that start as coders and they start a startup. I think they could really hire developers and focus on growing their business instead of still writing the code lines, just like
Hmm.
Mark Zuckerberg or people like that. You're starting with code, that's okay, but when it comes to the point of growing your business, then hire developers and focus on what's more important for your
Yeah.
company.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for joining me here for this podcast interview. I hope the audience will be able to learn something from this talk that we just had. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you for having me. It was fun.
Alright guys, so that was Abhishek Sansanwal. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know what was the one point that really resonated with you in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching till the very end. Thank you so much. If you are enjoying this series so far of BITScast, go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review for this podcast and 5 stars rating. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.